You're invited to imagine what's next. What the next view you wake up to will be. Where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby'sRealty.com.
Did you know that India's very first metro line was made operational in the city of Kolkata between Damdam to Toliganj way back in 1984? Now this month, Kolkata made history again with India's first underwater metro line. Now City of Joy has joined the ranks of global centres like London, Paris, New York, Shanghai and Cairo to boast of an underwater metro corridor. The commercial services of the country's first underwater metro train commenced this week, and that's why we're putting the spotlight on it. The train began its journey from Howrah Maidan station on the east-west metro corridor of Kolkata at 7 a.m. on 15th March with loud cheers and claps from commuters, while another one started from Esplanade station at the same time. On day one, over 70,000 commuters used the route. Their 45-minute travel time was reduced to just 10 minutes. A week before the underground metro was thrown open to commuters, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had taken a ride on the train from Esplanade to Howrah, along with several school students. And this section, which is a 4.8-kilometer stretch on the east-west corridor, passes under the Hooghly River to provide a very vital connectivity between Howrah and Kolkata's IT hub Salt Lake. Once fully operational, it will also substantially benefit people travelling from distant places such as Hooghly and Medinapur into Kolkata. Now let's bring our experts and guests today to expand the conversation from underground or underwater metro connectivity to the entire Kolkata metro expansion to ask how is it really benefiting the city. We have with us Mr Harshavardhan Neotia, Chairman Ambuja Neotia, and Mr Yogesh Gupta, Director MEGAA MODA Private Limited. Also with us Mr Saptarshi Sankar Chakrabarti, Architect and Urban Planner. Mr. Neotia, you have a smile on your face. So clearly, for the sector that you have been a part of and a key stakeholder in Kolkata's growth, this is a big, big change, isn't it? And the fact that it's a matter of pride is the first underwater metro connectivity.
Yes, indeed. We are really happy that this has finally happened. It's taken a little longer than we hoped it would have taken, but nevertheless, it's happened. I think the important thing is that Howrah is the most important and busy railway station in this part of India. And because the river divides Howrah from Calcutta, there is a very large number of people that actually cross over either by ferry or the Howrah Bridge or the Vivekananda Bindasagar Setu. So the fact that we now have this mass transit and mass transportation system means it becomes so much simpler for people to come across to the city, and particularly since this metro will connect to Salt Lake, as you said, which is a very big center of IT, and therefore a very large number of people work there. I think several lakhs of people. So I think it is going to be a dream connectivity. It does many other things. It lifts a lot of traffic off the road, which then allows other traffic to apply far more smoothly. And therefore, even the road transportation time taken will be reduced because a lot of buses and all will not be required. So I think it has a huge multiplier effect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mr. Gupta, what's your take as a leading business person from Kolkata? People are saying, in fact, Howrah could probably transform now with this connectivity, and Kolkata could decongest, as Mr. Neotia also said, not just the traffic, but the city per se could also decongest. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I completely believe that because like Kolkata is more than 300 years old city, and it's been one of the very busiest city for so many years, and the road percentage has been very low because it could not grow it road connectivity as much as it was required, and the population is always growing. Now Howrah has always been played a very important role because a lot of industries are located in Howrah. Now, the commuting between Howrah was restricted to a couple of bridges, which were always taking a very big load. Now, this metro and commuting by the people of Howrah towards Kolkata will definitely be a very enjoyable ride for them, and a lot of burden will be out of their shoulders because the commuting time, when it comes down, the quality of life also improves because these people will get a little more time to spend with their families. So definitely the quality will also improve. And the movement from Kolkata to Howrah is also improving. That way, business will definitely get a boost.
Mr. Chakrabarti, I'm going to come to you now. As an urban planner, do you believe this critical piece of green transportation will truly ease traffic congestion and reduce air pollution?
Yeah, personally, having been involved in urban planning discussions and residing in Kolkata for the past 2 decades, I firmly believe that the underground metro is indeed a critical element of green transportation. Its introduction not only reduces the general reliance on individual vehicles, but also aligns with sustainable urban mobility principles. By offering a reliable and efficient public transit option, it contributes to reducing the carbon emissions and enhancing environmental sustainability in the city. From my past experience as an architect planner deeply invested in Kolkata's urban development, I recognize the transformative potential of this underground metro and underwater metro now. And we have seen it. By providing a convenient alternative to this private vehicles, individual people who are traveling in vehicles, it encourages a modal shift and reduces traffic volume on the roads, thus finally contributing to a smoother traffic flow and a decreased pollution level on an overall scale, if you see.
Okay. All right. Let me again then come back to real estate. And you know what? I looked at some data, Mr. Neotia, and there seems to be a direct link between how real estate is taking off in the city and key infrastructure, the metro. Like now, as per the metro authorities per se, if I look at 22 to 23, metro network expansion was about 14.23 kilometers last year, which was the highest ever in a single year. And if I look at Kolkata's leasing numbers, whether it's commercial, it actually crossed 1.4 million square feet, and you had probably the highest jump or growth in housing sales as well.
Well, not entirely linked to the metro, but there are many factors that are contributing, one of which is the India story of growth, and the fact that, there's a lot of promise in terms of China plus one, and all of that is benefiting every part of the country, including West Bengal. And metro is definitely adding its own contribution to it. There are a couple of things I'd like to mention. As far as I read somewhere, I think there is about 176 kilometers of metro under construction, or let's say planned for Calcutta, of which I think only about 60 or 65 kilometers are presently operational. So that means more than 100 kilometers is in various stages of construction, and I understand most of it is to become operational in the next 2 to 3 years. This will be a phenomenal transformation of connectivity from point A to point B. And because there is a north-south link and an east-west link, virtually you can get from anywhere to anywhere in a very comfortable, smooth, hassle-free way. So this is very important. The second is that the Shialda station is a very important station because it connects Bengal to the northeast and to other parts of the state. And Howrah and Shialda have a lot of connection to happen because people who come in long distance to Howrah then use Shialda to go to North Bengal, etc. This metro connects these two vital stations. So this is a very seamless way of moving from any part of India to North Bengal. It's now virtually seamless. You don't have to even step out of the station. You can just go from the train to the metro station back onto another train, and you can go to your destination. So many of these things will radically transform how an average person or a common man commutes in this part.
So what
And
I'm
therefore-
hearing, Mr. Neotia, is that it's likely to probably have a multiplier effect on at least a lot of peripheral areas to Kolkata and commuters who are using both the Sialda and the Howrah station. And, surprisingly, or in fact, when I was researching, I was quite surprised to see that it's also one of the stations with the highest footfalls in the country. So that's another big aspect of it, that train riding or train travel is an extremely important part of West Bengal's economy. Mr. Gupta, let me come back to you and ask you a very simple question. You did touch upon the changing quality of life and decongestion of the roads. Both of you have spoken about it. But what else is happening, or do you believe should happen along with the metro to really improve the quality of life? Because we've not touched upon air pollution. I did go to Kolkata 2.5 years ago and I could really breathe it. I mean, it doesn't make the same headlines as Delhi does, but there is also an air pollution problem. The development that you see all around you right now on infrastructure, do you believe with the metro, it will actually ease on all fronts, or you have some way to go on that?
Metro definitely has an advantage because it takes a whole lot of load off the roads. Now, the moment it takes a lot of load off the roads and it is either going underground or going overground, the surface is getting freer. But you have to understand that the volume is so high. So when it takes a load off the surface that is there, a lot of vehicles are not plying anymore and people are traveling underground or overground. And these underground and overground are not consuming any kind of fossil fuel. So definitely it will give a bearing on the pollution part. We still need to go a long way because we have a lot more to do. A multimodal facility has to start. We can use very well the riverfront for transportation. That is also an area which should be explored to travel to other parts and little outskirts of our city.
What does the city need beyond the underground metro to be truly livable?
See, beyond this underground metro or underwater metro, as you say, Kolkata should also prioritize, it's my personal hinge, that the implementation of sustainable urban design principles, like a textbook urban design principle, to create a better livable space and pave the way for becoming a smarter city of the future. Initiatives such as promoting pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, like enhancing green spaces, integrating cycle lanes, creating multimodal transit hubs, and implementing smart technology for efficient transportation management should go hand in hand with our urban planning efforts, urban designing efforts, and the efforts of each and every architect of the city. These measures not only enhance mobility, but also would improve the overall quality of the life of the residents, while positioning Kolkata as a model for urban sustainability of the future. As an urban designer with 2 decades of understanding of such design principles, also living and sustaining in this particular city, I advocate for the integration of transit-oriented development, that is TOD, green space planning, and smart technology adoption. Because by leveraging these principles, Kolkata can evolve into a better livable and smarter city of the future, offering its residents a more efficient, equitable, and sustainable transportation option.
We're taking a quick break here. We'll be back. Stay with us.
You're invited to imagine what's next. What the next view you wake up to will be. Where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby'sRealty.com.
We are focusing on Kolkata's underwater metro connectivity and along with it, its urban transformation, and asking what will it take for the city to catch up to claim a higher spot amongst India's most thriving and dynamic cities. Certainly, the new connectivity has been a boost, but what beyond that? Mr. Gupta, let me start with you. I mean, you're employing people, both of you are, as business leaders, but there are other cities which were nowhere 2 decades ago but seem to have far left Kolkata behind, whether it's Pune or Bengaluru or Hyderabad. Give me your perspective of just the economic potential of the city, and do you think that with this sort of infrastructure coming together, it will get unleashed, or do you think much more is needed on the policy front?
No, we are all definitely in the right path because what happens when your transport infrastructure improves, it definitely gives an impact, and people would like to come back and work in the city because the commuting time is coming down. One very big important factor which I would like to mention here, that the cost of living is the lowest in Kolkata. So that is a very big attraction, and a lot can be done to improve the life of the regular citizens of Kolkata. We have a big pool of knowledge banks, and these people, if they can commute very well, easily, and in a very short span of time, this knowledge bank will remain in Kolkata, and we will be able to have more productivity and business out of this eastern part. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have a lot to do. I'll add here that we lack in one part, that a colony establishment like Delhi, where a new colony is opened up, people move on to the new colony very quickly, and then a whole ecosystem starts. Whereas in Kolkata, we take a lot of time to settle in a new colony. For example, Salt Lake, or for example, Newtown. It has come out so nicely, but people are actually not moving out and settling there. So that is where we need to really focus and make sure that people move out a little bit and have a better quality of life.
Let me ask you, how will the metro change the economic composition of the city? Howrah has primarily been a manufacturing hub. Will it change that?
See, Howrah had always been predominantly it's where the manufacturing hub is, and also the Kolkata, which the consumer side was in Kolkata. And now because of this particular integration, definitely the dynamics would change. Because the Kolkata's aspiration to become more livable and environmentally sustainable would become the aspiration of Howrah as well. So, and definitely, as I was talking about, like the traffic congestion, air quality, both would improve, because there's a huge load of traffic on top of the existing Howrah Bridge and existing infrastructure that is. Now that would get reduced, and also the different kinds of businesses that were coming up in Kolkata due to its positioning would also go into Howrah. Probably Howrah can become the smarter city of the future. So that's what my take is on this.
Okay, Mr. Neotia. Last time we had this discussion, we said, okay, Kolkata is slowly becoming one of the choices of cities to work in, and affordability is one of those as well, a big reason. But do you think, as far as its contention to become a hub for innovation and new age companies, is it beginning to feature?
I think so. I mean, I would certainly be a little biased because I live here, and I have obviously a certain, I would say, emotional connection with the city. But having said that, I believe that we are catching up very fast. We definitely lost some ground some years ago, and therefore other cities that you spoke about took a march over us in certain aspects of information technology, etc. But I think the people of Kolkata are endowed with tremendous amount of intellectual capability, artistic capability. If you see some of the artists and some of the workmanship of people from this region, it's quite extraordinary. So I do believe that all this is converging now to give also economic progress. Of course, we are behind, no doubt about it. But we are catching up. I believe so.
I know that it's a difficult question pre-election to be asking you, Mr. Neotia, but broadly, do you believe that if there is better alignment between center and state, you could see Kolkata actually growing more rapidly and the economic benefits coming faster?
Always cooperation helps on economic matters, but that is not in my area of expertise as to why there are quarrels, and some reasons we understand, some reasons we don't understand. But having said that, it's always nice if we can at least cooperate on economic matters, then things can progress faster.
But the current pace of development, Mr. Gupta, as a business leader, do you feel that it has been adequate?
Well, we need
in the
to
last
move
5 years,
faster.
let's say?
The world is moving fast and we need to really catch up to them. So a lot of technology advancement, digital advancement has happened. And we have a lot of intellectual brain here in Kolkata which can catch up. But somehow these people, they move out to other cities and develop those cities. But we are seeing some good development in the last 5 years and hope so this will continue at a much larger speed.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. We're signing off on a positive note for the city of Kolkata in the hope that it does capitalize on its true economic potential as one of India's top 7 cities in the next decade. Thanks so much for joining me and watching.
You're invited to imagine what's next. What the next view you wake up to will be. Where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby'sRealty.com